Canada Hot Wheels. In particular, Peter. We had a man-to-man talk. I thought we had an agreement, Peter. You know what? Screw it. Hit my intro. Let's get into this. Retro Maniacs and anybody else who watches. Hopefully some diecast collectors who will watch this and take heed of what I have to say. My name's Neil, known as Retro Collectibles on YouTube. I live in Hamilton, Ontario. This is a cautionary tale about Canada Hot Wheels. It's a store based in Quebec that really pushes a lot of pre-orders and mail orders on Facebook and on the internet. I'm going to tell you about my experience with them based on facts. I'm going to show you the hard facts. I'm going to tell you about other people's experiences with them. I'm going to blow the doors open and show you a bunch of information that a lady named Melinda Scammer Slayer Bly found on these people. And I'm going to let you draw your own conclusion on if you should deal with these people. I had already put up one video regarding them, and Peter had refunded me, so I took the video down. But I had told him, this is not over. You treat people the way you have just treated me. I'll start from the beginning for people that are unaware of this, because I know there's going to be people kind of saying, where's the context to this? So we're diecast car collectors. I'm in a large Facebook group called Ontario Diecast Addicts. Best Facebook diecast group in the world, in my opinion. I love it. One day I was in there and another member had shared a post. And it was for the Back to the Future cars. You know, the reissue ones that just came out. They are Hot Wheels, the reissue retro entertainment line that just came out. They're a scalper's delight. They're selling for 30, 40 bucks each, 20 if you're lucky. A bunch of those were at a store in Quebec called Canada Hot Wheels. They were in stock. I can't remember the price offhand. I believe they were $9 a pop. First thing I said is this legit? Like, red flags. They're nowhere else yet, but they have them in stock and they're only $9, right? Like, they're not jacking the price. This is weird to me. So I asked a bunch of my co-collectors in the group. I said, you know, anybody ordered from these guys? Did you get your order? Oh yeah, they're cool. A bunch of people had ordered, got their order. So I said, okay. So my friend Chester, who's a younger guy, early 20s, he moved to Canada in 2016. Really good kid, works hard, he's honest. He approached me about going in on a pre-order with him because if you went over a certain amount of money, apparently you got free shipping. That was the hook, right? So Chester, being resourceful kid, he was asking me and several others if we wanted to go in on a pre-order with him. And I said, I will, but there's a catch. I said, the stuff I'm ordering is in stock. If you're going to order a bunch of pre-order stuff, I'll just do an order on my own. Because what happens is, if you have 10 in-stock items and one pre-order item, that one item will hold the whole shipment back for everyone else. So I said, if you want to order pre-order items, that's fine. Just let me know and I'll order from elsewhere. Or I'll order myself, rather. And he assured me he was not going to do a bunch of pre-order items. He had separate orders he was going to do. I said, okay, sounds good. Put me down for this. I ordered some Back to the Future trucks. Yeah, like a bunch of other people ordered Back to the Future trucks. So it wasn't in my name, it was in Chester's name. So I wasn't dealing with it. So a couple months goes by, I messaged Chester, hey man, do you hear anything about this pre-order? He tells me he's gonna reach out to them. And we're going back and forth for, it goes on for a couple months. And Chester is telling me they're not answering his calls, they're not replying to his email. And I'm thinking, what do you mean they're not answering your calls? Like, this is supposed to be a brick and mortar store, right? And all of a sudden, I'm seeing on Facebook a bunch of complaints. People saying the same thing. They haven't gotten their order. And then it was escalating. This guy named Pedro, Peter, I call him as, because that's who he introduced himself to me as. But I guess he goes by Pedro as well. This man was being incredibly rude to people on the phone, hanging up on them, just attacking people on Facebook. I'll give you an example. So, finally, I said to Chester, you know what? Let me deal with it. Send them an email. Tell them I'm on the order. Tell them my name. I'll deal with it because he's a young kid. I didn't want them brushing him off, pushing him around. I'll stay on top of it because I'm Mr. Assertive with this stuff, right? So he puts my name on the thing. So I'm aware of all this stuff going around on Facebook. By this point, there's people doing chargebacks on their credit cards and all kinds of stuff, right? I'm aware of all this, but I just play like I don't know anything about it because the style of these people is they'll do this to you, and then when you get angry about it and call up and raise your voice, then he was a difficult customer. I didn't want to deal with him, so I didn't want to turn in any of that, right? I thought this whole thing through before I did it. So I started emailing, and I explained my situation. And I got a man named Peter. And I emailed, and first thing I said is, "Hi, is this Canada Hot Wheels?" I got a response immediately, right away. "Yes, it is." An enthusiastic response. And, well, I'll show you how it went anyway. It was funny because nobody else could get a response but me being a potential customer right away, right? But I'll show you that whole correspondence. Check it out. I got proof for everything I'm back, and I'm telling you guys. So here we go. Now, I'm tired, so you're going to have to forgive me. I'm on 4 a.m. shift. I haven't slept yet. Now, keep in mind, guys, I have not mentioned the time frame yet for this. I was off work for 3 months due to having my ankle rebuilt. I went off work at the end of December. I remember we did the order when I was sitting in my car at work. And I was back to work when I started doing these emails to them. 7 months elapsed before I made contact with him. As you could see at first, it was yes it is, and then as soon as I start asking, he went from excuses, we just moved, our phone lines, blah blah blah. As you could see, excuses like that don't fly with me. I said, bud, you didn't mention any of this when you were taking our money, so don't start with the we're moving and all this other stuff, right? Then he mentioned about Facebook. We post to Facebook. Okay, well, I'm not going to argue with that. Like, that's ridiculous. What, in order to do business with you or inquire about an order, I have to have Facebook. So if I'm an old man and walked in your store and bought something, I have to have Facebook to inquire about it. Like, I can't call or whatever. And then he starts mentioning, so he tells me she's going to email me. I'm polite through the whole thing. And then I hold them on it. I say, what's up? I didn't receive an email. Then he gets back to me, and you could tell he's biting his tongue, this guy. Like, I could see that this guy's a hothead. He says to me, and the whole time I'm playing docile up till this point, right? He says to me something about the emails. Well, you're going to have to forgive her. She's emailing from her cell phone. And it's like, okay, I don't know what cell phones have to do with it. You guys see, like, that whole thing is a screen recording. That's from my cell phone. That's how I email. I don't even have my desktop hooked up anymore. It's down in our storage locker. I haven't for years. I email everything from my cell phone, so I'm not sure what that had to do with anything. It just seemed like I'm thinking taking our money was a different story, but now that you have our money, now it seems like I'm aggravating you, you know what I mean? You've had my money for 7 months. I'm messaging to ask about it, and I'm aggravating you? Wow. So anyway, I hold my tongue to this point. Okay, so I do what they tell me to do. I call Dani. First she tells me, she looks up the order, she has no idea where they are or even when they're coming, tells me to call back at the end of July, early August. So I said, okay, I'm going to do what she said. I was going to give it till early August, but then the real bad crap started flying. And I mean, there was tons of reports of people getting hung up on, having to call and do chargebacks on their credit cards. And at this point, that Melinda Scammer Slayer Bly had put out a huge report. I'm going to show you guys in a minute. As soon as that report came out, I said, yeah, I got to call them and speed this up because the gig's almost going to be up, right? There's a window of time for what I was trying to do. So when the heat started coming on, I called back a week early. I got Dani on the phone. She says, okay, let me check a few things, blah, blah, blah. I'm on the phone with her for 5 minutes, talking to her. No clue when my order's coming or anything like that. Then she tells me to hold on a minute. I said, okay. She puts me on hold for 5 minutes. And while I'm on hold, I'm thinking, now I've been seeing this guy unleashing tirades on Facebook. Like on their business page, he's doing it, right? So I'm thinking, they've been banning people and telling people they're not getting their money back because they have moles that are seeing what people are saying on Facebook. That's another thing. Up to that point, I was watching what I was saying because I didn't want them thinking I was aware of anything. But they had people telling them. So I thought, over this 5 minutes, what could she possibly be checking? Are they on Facebook looking up my name to see if I've said anything? Anyway, so she comes back to the phone after 5 minutes. She says, Neil, do me a favor. Can I call you back later? I'm going to check in on this more. At this point, she wasn't getting off the hook. She wasn't brushing me off. I said, do me a favor, Dani? She said, yes. I said, make sure you call me back today. I said, this is too many emails back and forth, too many phone calls. I don't care if the order's coming in 3 months. It's the not having an end date after 7 months that's annoying me, and the brushing off and hearing everybody else getting hung up on and that. Like, I didn't say this part to her, but I'm thinking this. I said, make sure you call me back, please, Dani. She assured me she would. Well, the day came and went, and I didn't get a phone call. So Dani lit my fuse, actually. Sorry, Dani, to kind of throw you under the bus, but you lit my fuse for the first video by not calling me back when you said you were going to. Not the guy to brush off. So she didn't call me back, so I put up a YouTube video similar to this one, and it was called, the title of it was called something like My Experience with Canada Hot Wheels, a Cautionary Tale. And it had all of the evidence that I'm going to be showing you guys in a second here. And I put it up at 3 in the morning. I was just about to start night shifts, just like what I'm going to do tonight. I put it up at about 3 in the morning. And the ultimatum at the end of the video, I said, you have 1 week to call me. Not email me. I'm not even going to try to call you again. You have 1 week to call me. And I gave him dates. You have another till then to have the money in my account. I'm not going through courts. I'm not going to sue you, anything like that. I gave him dates. I said, if these dates are not met, the next thing I do, I've already talked to my wife. There's 3 guys that are paying my gas, everything else. I'm making a trip out there. I'm going to make a trip out of it, show my wife old Montreal, show her around Quebec. And then I'm coming to visit your store, and I'm going to pick up my stuff, my friend's stuff. And by that time, the cost is going to far exceed the amount of my order. If I go out there, and everybody around here knows that I will, if I say I'm going to, if I go out there, it's going to be very expensive for you. So don't play with this. So that was uploaded about 3 a.m. By 5 a.m., so the middle of the night, probably before 5 a.m., like 4:30 or something, 4:45, I get an email from Peter. Well, I'll show you the email. Now he's paying attention and he's being courteous to me, but I'll show you the email. Here you go. Social media is a powerful thing, and that got his attention right away. And you know what? Well, I'm going to show you guys in a minute the stuff that I showed and posted on it and stuff. Like, it's stuff right from the government showing that they changed their business name a bunch of times. And I'm going to show you guys everything, but I'm just trying not to forget anything as well. I'm going to show you guys Facebook posts with him. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys everything. So I did call him. Actually, before I get into calling him, another thing that triggered me to call. So it was a combination of Dani and... So think of this. Another red flag I had is there's nowhere to leave feedback on their Facebook page. They tell you to reach out to them through Facebook. You've seen him directing me to a Facebook page. Their Facebook page is completely locked down. You can't even comment on a photo. Okay, and this guy's directing me to contact them through this completely locked down page, right? Soon as you see a place that's locked down of any customer feedback, run. Like it's usually a place like this, right? So I seen that and I said, oh shit, but I didn't notice that till after we had ordered and stuff like that, but everything was completely locked down. One day he made a post about these unicorn trucks that he says that he's getting. And the number that he says that they're getting is the lion's share of all the order that's made. Like, it's not the whole order, but I don't buy it. But anyway, he made a post regarding that, and he said, and it was a kind of a pointy post, saying, well, I don't know, I'll show you guys what it said. But I left a comment under the post, polite. You got to remember, this is the only way I can get a hold of them. They're not answering my calls or anything at this point. Okay? I've called a bunch. They're turning their phone off. That's another story, too, I'll get into. So this is my only way to reach out to them, and it's been 8 months at this point. Okay? So I leave a polite comment. Hi, Peter. It's Neil. I'm having a hard time reaching out to you. This is my order number. I guess you guys forgot to get back to me. If you can check into it and let me know, thanks. He removes my comment, and this is what he has to say to me. To people, I'll show you. Like, this is their business Facebook page, okay? I'm going to show you how this guy reacted to a customer. He has my money. I'm his customer. This is how he treated me, okay? So this is supposed to be a businessman. He starts out the post on his business Facebook page, like more or less, you know, people are gonna lose credibility, this and that, blah 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 blah. Because you got to think, by this time he had been called out big time that Melinda Scammer Slayer Bly had already basically uncovered their whole scam. It's a pyramid scheme in my opinion, but I'll tell you about it in a second. So as you could see, he removed my comment, said that some people don't read, which means I don't read. No, I read, you just have my money. It's been 9 months, you're not answering my calls or emails. What the hell else am I going to reach out to you on? You told me in the email, reach out to you on Facebook. I just did it, and you insulted me. Anyway, I'll show you guys from top to bottom. There's so many people's orders, and that's another thing too. That post I just showed you just said they're not offering pre-orders anymore, but they're still doing pre-orders. But anyway, I'm gonna show you some of the stuff that's on Facebook regarding them, starting with the post by Melinda Scammer Slayer Bly. Now this lady is like me. She's an avid diecast collector. The only difference is she is a heck of a detective when it comes to scammers. I'm pretty smart with figuring these people out, but she did something that I would not have thought to do, and she went and checked their business license, shit like that, and I'm going to show you guys, you know, the name changes with the government and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys everything, all the Facebook stuff, all the comments people have said about their experiences. That way you know I'm not making it up. And you can go to their Facebook page, which is still up. They were supposed to take it down, but they're still getting money out of some people, I guess. Stop sending them money. I can't believe people are still sending them money. Wow. But they're fishing and they're catching, right? So they're gonna leave that Facebook page going right till the end. They're turning off their phone too. It does this 3T2 thing or whatever it is. At first, in my mind, I know I'm all over the place with this, guys. You know what? I'm gonna show you the Melinda post first and some of the Facebook posts, and then I'm gonna tell you about the aftermath of my conversation with Peter and what was said. But here's some stuff from Facebook. So you'll probably have to pause and do some scrolling and stuff like that, but I guarantee if you like reading comments, it's pretty juicy stuff if you take your time to read it. Changed the business name 17 times since 2019. 17 since so in 4 years they've changed the business name 17 times. Why would you need to do that? Peter or Pedro, whatever you're calling yourself today. Why would you need to change your name that many times if everything's on the up and up? And Melinda Scammer Slayer Bly, as I mentioned before, is the real deal. In fact, House of Cars Detroit just honored her with a special car, like a really killer car, done by Neverland, for her work in the diecast for busting people like this. I'll tell you about what brought us to this point though. So Peter seen my last YouTube video. Sorry guys, I'm just going to get comfortable, so I'm going to be a little bit of a talking head today. Peter seen my YouTube video. He reached out to me, said he was going to call, and true to his word, he did. The only problem was I was at work, so I had to answer the phone and say, I'll call you back in 5 minutes. I thought, is he going to answer the phone? He answered the phone in one ring, right? First thing I said to him, I said, this is Peter? Yes. I said, so you watched my video, Peter? Yes. I said, what did you think? He said, honestly, I feel horrible. He gave me a story that basically they're a small business. They bit off more than they could chew. One of the things he told me was he sold the Back to the Future truck for too cheap and didn't expect to sell that many and couldn't keep up with it, and there's only 2 of them there, and blah blah blah. And I said, you know, I do feel for you, Peter. At the end of the day though, like, this is, you've done this. Like, you can't just take people's money like that and brush them off and ignore them, but keep, like, that's the thing. They were saying how busy they were. They couldn't take care of people's stuff, but they were constantly aggressively selling pre-orders and other items on their Facebook page. Had time to do that. So I gave him that ultimatum. I said, you know, trip to Quebec if I'm not paid back, blah blah blah. He paid me back. He did now here's what part of the reason that got me doing this video today. He was able to do the refund for me on the spot on the phone. Like, I got the email when I was on the phone with him on my iPhone, got the alert saying he got an email. I opened it up. Refund from Canada Hot Wheels. Well, I'll show you what it looks like. Here it is. Now, naturally, he was interested in the video being taken down if he refunded me. I said, well, yeah. I said, I made you a deal, but the thing is, that email I just got says the money's going to hit the credit card in 8 to 10 days. I'm not a fool. I know the situation that we're all involved in here. Until that money hits the credit card, the video stays up. I mean, I'm not going to take the video down and that's just an email that you generated yourself, right? And then the money doesn't come. I said, so hopefully if I were you, I would get on whoever's in charge of doing the refund, the credit card, whoever does it, I would get on them. Because the longer it takes for that money to hit my card, the more views are going to see that video. And it got, I think it was 470 views in 3 days, something like that. So people were watching it, and this one, I've got a bunch of people lined up. They're going to share the heck out of it. And I'm also sharing it on my Facebook, a direct upload. I have more followers on my Facebook, believe it or not. And I'm going to share it on there, direct upload. Not a YouTube link share, I'm going to directly upload it. And I'm going to share the YouTube link as well. I've got a bunch of other people that are going to share it because people have to be warned about this guy. Because on the phone, he actually had me wanting to believe that he was going to change. Like the buck stopped with him. He said it's my fault. He wasn't trying to blame moving, all this other bullshit, because he knew I wasn't going to have it, right? He knows my type and I know his type, so he wasn't trying it. Like, he went docile, apologized, said, okay, I'm going to refund you, blah, 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 please. I said, you got my word. If you do this and keep up with everything, that video will come down and I will put up an update video explaining that you refunded me. And I did. You can check the videos, and that video is still up. Might have to come down though, so people don't get confused and think everything's okay. I might have to pull that one down. So anyway, I got refunded, but he was told that he was to treat anybody that calls him and mentions my name, Neil. I'm Neil's friend. You're to treat them the way you treated me. Refund them immediately, okay? Now, I told everybody not to even deal with Dani. She didn't help me. She's not going to help you. All she did was string me along for a month and then not call me back. He's the guy that gave me results. Do as I say and you'll get your refund back, because chargebacks for the credit cards, the good thing about a bunch of chargeback guys is once a bunch of them go through, then Visa MasterCard says, you know what, something's going on, and they pull the Visa MasterCard privileges. And that hurts a business because a percentage of their sales is based on Visa MasterCard, right? So that's one good thing about chargebacks, but the bad thing is there's a lot of red tape and a lot of waiting. It could take months to get your money back, okay? My method was, I told everybody, you call there, speak to Peter only, okay? Not Dani, not the fucking janitor, only Peter, okay? Do not hang up with him. Well, first off, say you're my friend. You spoke to my friend Neil. He told me to call to get my refund. Do not hang up the phone until you get the email saying you got the refund. Now, I ended up getting the refund. It didn't take 8 to 10 business days. It was on the credit card within 2 business days. So I took the first video down. Now, for the first while, things were going great. I had people, total strangers, messaging me saying, thank you, Neil. I did what you said, and I got the refund right away. He did it right on the phone. So for a couple weeks, things were going great. Because I said in one of my videos, I said, Peter, if you're watching, I'm actually pulling for you. You can come back from this. You can fix this, and in 6 months to a year, this is forgotten about. You just got to pay everyone back, right? Like, you can't have a bunch of people's money. And he attacked the Ontario Diecast Addicts group too, said that they had a vendetta against him. Well, yeah, you went in there and ripped a bunch of them off. And you're ignoring them, being rude to them. Of course they do. But if you went into the friggin' Charles Manson fan group, let's say, and did that, you'd have them mad at you. So it has nothing to do with the group. It's that you treated a bunch of them like dupes. And you're not paying them back. So, for the first 2 weeks, I wanted to believe this guy because I was getting tons of reports of him paying people back. And then it was starting to slide a little bit. I was getting once in a while, we can't get through, there's something wrong with the phone line. And I'm telling them, you know, it might be, I want to believe the best. Like, this guy forced my hand with this. Like, for weeks, I've been telling people, the phone's not cut off. Keep trying back. Maybe he's in an area of Quebec where it's bad reception. Like, I wanted to see the best in this guy, okay? I even had some other fucking nut job message me from Quebec that wasn't even owed money, just had a vendetta with Peter and was talking about teaming up with me, and it just a bunch of crazy. I ended up blocking the guy, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not out to ruin Peter's life. I don't even hate the guy. I just want him to repay people, do what's right, and then I'll disappear. He'll forget about me, you know? But nope, after a couple weeks, I'm getting messages. He's putting me on the phone with Dani, and Dani is telling me that I have to call my credit card company. And at first, I'm getting angry thinking people aren't being assertive enough. Like, well, why would you let him put you on the phone with Dani? You shouldn't have let him do that, right? But he was, I figured out this guy was running people off the phone. What made me what triggered this video was a guy that I thought was not being assertive finally came out and said, look, Neil, he's been hanging up the phone on me. You know what I mean? Boom. Soon as I read the words hanging up, I said, that's exactly what I told him not to do. Like, there's no confusing that. This is not people not being assertive and not having the balls to go after this guy. This is, they're trying to do it and he's hanging up the phone. And another thing he's been saying to people lately, they're saying he's putting them off to Dani. Dani will then try to say she's not capable of doing the refund over the phone. You can, because you did it for me and a bunch of other people. I just proved it. I showed the email I got and the money went in. I wouldn't lie about you paying me back. I'd be going after you saying you didn't pay me back. So you can do that. So that's another reason I'm after you. You're lying to people now after a couple weeks of doing everything good. You told one guy that your lawyer told you. And by the way, if you show this to your lawyer, lawyer, you're a dupe. He needs to fire you because you don't know what you're talking about. Your lawyer, if this is true, your lawyer told you that nothing can happen to you and you don't have to refund people. Like, in other words, you're pulling the old take me to civil court scam. The take me to civil court, you know when it's a civil case, Peter, is for a contractor that does shoddy work. It's a civil case, it's not criminal. A mechanic doesn't fix your car right, you take him to civil court. Civil court isn't a guy that's taken money from 100 people and is screwing them around. That's criminal fraud. All they have to do is prove the intent, and it's criminal fraud. It's not take me to civil court. It's not a civil matter. I'm surprised you cops haven't been there yet, to be honest, but I'll be looking into that as well. Because I know there is an RCMP like, I'm going to be going all out for these guys. You paid me back, but I gave my word to you that I would take that video down. If I say something, you could take it to the bank. I also told these other guys I was going to have their back and see this thing through. So I'm coming, Peter. I'm not physically coming to Quebec, so if you're going to show the police and say I threatened you, that's not a physical threat. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm coming to make things right. And at this point, this video is staying up. The last one had a bunch of views, and this one's staying up, and I'm plastering it everywhere. Everybody's going to share it. The only way this is going to come down is if I see proof that you have refunded each and every person. And I don't mean bullshit emails. I've already given you a chance. Like, I've given you... Like, I made myself look docile, actually, putting up with... Like, I've been listening to this go on for 2 weeks. Trying to still let you do the right thing, and you're back to abusing customers. I guess because I didn't say anything and you hadn't heard from me, you thought, oh, he's docile, he won't do anything. No, I was trying to watch what you were going to do and see if you were bullshitting me on the phone, and you were bullshitting me. Well, I don't bullshit. Here's another video. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm going to end this video with just a bunch of random comments of people's experiences on the posts that they've had with Peter and with Canada Hot Wheels. And I'll let you decide. Everything I've told you, I wouldn't make a YouTube video without proof because I could be sued. It could be me in hot water, right? I've showed you guys all the proof. Everything's there. So I'll issue you the same challenge that I did last time, Peter. If you want to send me a subpoena, hit up my email. I'll let you know my address even. I'm calling your bluff. Take me to court. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I got your back. Anyway, we're going to do this. I'm going to keep the heat on this guy. Peter, you're not scamming nobody. You're telling people you can't do the refund on the phone when you did it for me. Dumbass. Anyway, this is not over. Guys, I got your back. Please share the heck out of this. Please like the heck out of this. I never usually push sharing my videos. I just usually say like, subscribe, and share, like the crap out of it. share the crap out of this, especially if you're one of the victims that are going through this and having to deal with all this. I forgot to write down a bunch of names. This video is dedicated to my friends David Paperno, Navin Khan. There's several of you that have emailed me that I spoke to just today that I'm so tired I can't remember a bunch of names. Man, I almost, yeah, I almost want to stop the video and go in and get the names to list them, but these are all people that are friends of mine that you've personally, like, you've taken the trust out of them. Like, I sent young Chester a picture of a car that's a pre-order through a different company. First thing he says to me is, I'm not pre-ordering ever again. Like, you've completely, like, it's not just the money, like, you've screwed with people's trust. Like, you've strung them along. Not good, man. So, however the cards fall now, personally, I hope the video stays up forever. I've talked to everybody. Before I posted this video, I said, me posting this video, there's a chance that this guy's going to turn around and say, Neil's an asshole, I'm not paying anybody back because of Neil, and start posting stuff all over Facebook, which I don't give a shit. You look like a nutbag when you do that. So go ahead, post me all over your business page, Peter, and look like a friggin' nutbag on coke again. Anyway, guys, yeah, share the crap out of this, and I'm gonna end this video off with just a bunch of comments and stuff of people's dealings with this guy. So take this as severe warning, guys. I'm not gonna tell you guys what to do or what not to do. You're adults. I'm not the law, but I know who I wouldn't be ordering from, that's for sure. In my overall opinion, before I let you go, and this is just my opinion, I don't know if it's 100% true, 100% false. I think it's a pyramid scheme. I think that we fill so many orders to build up credibility, because that's how they got me. I jumped on Facebook and said anybody gotten their orders from these people, and a few people said yeah. So they will fill a few orders. Like Eric Price, for example, they're strategic about it. He's an admin of ODA, Ontario Diecast Addicts. He's got a captive audience of a few thousand people. He got his stuff rate snappy, and I think he ordered after me, but they're not going to abuse him because you know what I mean? Like, he can just go on, make a post, everybody sees it, right? Anyway, guys, sorry to keep going on about this. I am just worked up like dynamite about this guy. He made me promises on the phone. I don't know how a guy without a spine walks down the street. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, Peter, the only way this is coming down is refunds. Quit turning your phone off. Quit bullshitting people saying that you can't do the refund over the phone. Quit putting Dani on the phone to bullshit for you. Be a man and take care of your obligations.
the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.